এই নাম গায় গোরাচাঁদ মধুর সদে, এই নাম গায় গোরাচাঁদ মধুর সদে। হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে। এই নাম গায় গোরাচাঁদ মধুর সদে, এই নাম গায় গোরাচাঁদ মধুর সদে। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে। হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে হরে। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে। হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। হরে রাম 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 হরে। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে। হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। রাम রাम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम हरे राम राम हरे हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Śrī Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we're starting a new chapter. So it's Canto 3, Chapter 3, and Text 1. So without further ado, I was going to start the class, but I see Vishnugada just got on. So, and it's his turn to do today. So I'm going to hold off for him to be settled, and then we'll start the class. Hare Krishna. So hang on a second. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances.
I'm sorry I got discombobulated. I'm traveling. I thought it was next week, but I made a mistake. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Go ahead.
Yes, please.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha
Radha
Madhava
Madhava Kunja
Kunja
Bihari
Bihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Gopi
Jaya Gopi
Janavallabha
Janavallabha
Girivaradhari
Girivadadhari
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodhanandana
Yashodanandana
Brajajana Ranjana
Brajajana
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodhanandana
Yashodanandana
Brajajana
Brajajana
Ranjana
Ranjana
Yamunatira Vanachari
Yamuna
Yamunatira
Vanachari
Vanachari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha
Madhava
Madhava
Kunja
Kunya
Bihari
Bihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari
Jaya
Gopi
Gopi
Janavallabha
Yanavallabha
Girivaradhari
Girivadadhari
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodhanandana
Yashodanandana
Brajajana
Brajajana
Ranjana
Ranjana
Yamunatira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira
Yamunatira
Vanachari
Vanachari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya
Radha
Radha
Madhava Kunja
Madhava Kunja
Bihari
Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya
Jaya
Radha
Radha
Madhava Kunja
Madhava Kunja
Bihari
Bihari
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhans Parivrajak Acharya Ashtottara Sutta Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Jai
Iskan founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai
Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai.
Jai
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय।
Jai
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय।
Jai
वृंदावन धाम की जय।
Jai
नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय।
Jai
गंगामाई की जय।
Jai
यमुना माई की जय।
Jai
तुलसी देवी की जय।
Jai
भक्ति देवी की जय।
Jai
समवेता भक्तवृंद की जय।
Jai
गौर प्रेमानंदे।
Jai Haribo
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna
Jai Shri Shri Guru Shri Gauranga Hari Hari Bol. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravane Pracharine Nirvisheshanyavari Paschatya Deshatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya
Uddhava uvāca tataḥ āgatya puraṁ sva-pitroś cikīrṣayā baladeva-saṁyutaḥ nipātya tuṅgād ripu-yūtha-nāthaṁ hataṁ vyakarṣad vyasum ojasorvyām. Uddhava uvāca tataḥ āgatya puraṁ sva-pitroś cikīrṣayā baladeva-saṁyutaḥ nipātya tuṅgād ripu-yūtha-nāthaṁ hataṁ vyakarṣad vyasum ojasorvyām. Uddhava uvāca tataḥ āgatya puraṁ sva-pitroś cikīrṣayā baladeva-saṁyutaḥ nipātya tuṅgād ripu-yūtha-nāthaṁ hataṁ vyakarṣad vyasum ojasorvyām. Please chant.
Uddhava uvāca tataḥ āgatya puraṁ sva-pitroś cikīrṣayā baladeva-saṁyutaḥ nipātya tuṅgād ripu-yūtha-nāthaṁ hataṁ vyakarṣad vyasum ojasorvyām. Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Uddhava uvāca tataḥ āgatya puraṁ sva-pitroś cikīrṣayā baladeva-saṁyutaḥ nipātya tuṅgād ripu-yūtha-nāthaṁ hataṁ vyakarṣad vyasum ojasorvyām. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
उद्धव उवाच ततः स आगत्य पुरं सपित्रोष चिकीर्षया बलदेवसंयुक्तः निपात्य तुङ्गाद् रिपु-यūtha-nāthaṁ हतं व्यकर्षद् व्यसुम् ओजसर्वयाम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna.
उद्धव उवाच ततः स आगत्य पुरं स्वपित्रोः चिकीर्षया बलदेवसंयुतः निपात्य तुङ्गाद् रिपु-यūtha-nāthaṁ हतं व्यकर्षद् व्यसुमोजसोऽर्व्याम्.
Hare Krishna.
Uddhava uvāca. Śrī Uddhava said, Tata, thereafter, sa, the Lord, āgatya, coming, puram, to the city of Mathurā, sva-pitroś, own parents, cikīrṣayā, wishing well, sham, well-being, baladeva-saṁyutaḥ, with Lord Baladev, nipātya, dragging down, tuṅgād, from the throne, ripu-yūtha-nāthaṁ, the leader of public enemies, hataṁ, killed, vyakarṣad, pulled, vyasum, dead, ojasa, by strength, uvāca, on the ground. Translation. Śrī Uddhava said, thereafter, Lord Kṛṣṇa went to Mathurā City with Śrī Baladeva, and to please their parents, they dragged Kaṁsa, the leader of public enemies, down from his throne and killed him, pulling him along the ground with great strength. Purport. King Kaṁsa's death is only briefly described here because such pastimes are vividly and elaborately described in the 10th canto. The Lord proved to be a worthy son of his parents, even at the age of 16 years. Both brothers, Lord Kṛṣṇa and Lord Baladeva, went to Mathurā from Vrindavan and killed their maternal uncle, who had given so much trouble to their parents, Vasudeva and Devaki. Kaṁsa was a great giant, and Vasudeva and Devaki never thought that Kṛṣṇa and Baladev, would be able to kill such a great and strong enemy. When the two brothers attacked Kaṁsa on the throne, their parents feared that now Kaṁsa would finally get the opportunity to kill their sons, whom they had hidden for so long in the house of Nanda Maharaj. The parents of the Lord, due to parental affection, felt extreme danger, and they almost fainted. Just to convince them that they had actually killed Kaṁsa, Kṛṣṇa and Baladev pulled Kaṁsa's dead body along the ground to encourage them. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Jayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Shapandantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Before speaking, I'd like to ask permission and blessings from all devotees, and particularly those who are senior by age and or advancement in Krishna consciousness.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you. So as I'm sure most of you know, or all of you know, that today is the appearance anniversary of who?
Lord Balaram.
Oh, yes. Balaram Purnima. And here we have some description of the activities of Lord Balaram along with Lord Kṛṣṇa when they left Mathurā City, left Vrindavan and went to Mathura in pursuance of the wrestling challenge, but also eventually to kill their maternal uncle, Kaṁsa, who had kept Devaki and Vasudeva imprisoned for all those years. Since the time prior to the birth of Lord Kṛṣṇa. So how many years is that?
Well, they said 16 years. When Krishna was 16 years of age, they went. This is what the purport says.
Dear Krishna has something. Yeah. Dear Krishna has something. Prabhu has something to say. Yeah.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I think 11 years.
I also thought 11, but I saw 16 years here, so I don't know whether it's a typo or something. Yeah, I was also thinking you left Vrindavan at 11.
I don't think it's a typo. I think in certain places, sometimes Prabhupada says 16, sometimes says 11 or 12. Okay. When we actually get to the 10th canto, it'll say 11 or 12. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, a young age anyway, a young age. But of course, go ahead.
If you don't mind, just want to make a quick announcement since we started by reminding all of us about Balaram Jayanti.
Yeah, sure.
Devotees, we're fasting until 12. We're fasting half-day fast. Okay, Hare Krishna. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, that's important. We don't have that many fast days. But Vasudeva and Devaki were imprisoned also prior to the birth of Lord Kṛṣṇa, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they were imprisoned first. We read in the 10th canto or the Krishna book that when Kaṁsa heard that the 8th child of Devaki would be killing him, he immediately decided he immediately took a sword and was going to cut her head off on her marriage day, even though she was his sister. And Vasudeva very dexterously and cleverly got him to desist. And then ultimately by promising that he would bring all the children, if there were any children, whatever children would be born, he would bring to Kaṁsa to do with what he liked. So subsequently, Vasudeva, when the first child was born, brought the first child to Kaṁsa. And what did Kaṁsa do?
He said that the 8th child was supposed to cause his death. And this was the first child, so the child is no threat to him. So take the child back. This is still.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Later on, he changed his mind.
Well, there was some intervention by Narad Muni.
Yeah.
Narad Muni came and spoke to Kaṁsa, and he said, well, in the Yadu dynasty and all, there's demigods taking birth here and there. So hearing from Narada Muni, Kaṁsa thought, well, wait a minute. Any child could be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I don't know. Sometimes people say it depends on how you count. Backwards 1 to 8, or frontwards 1 to 8.
Mm.
So he went and he grabbed the first child born of Devaki and Vasudeva, killed that child wantonly, and then imprisoned Vasudeva and Devaki. So even in the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are bloody scenes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes parents will wonder, well, we could speak on or hear the pastimes of Krishna and there's violence, but yes, and so we try to avoid violence, but no, it's violence is there, even from the very right beginning, because the demons, like Kaṁsa, just from the very beginning of their appearance on this world, the demons want to kill the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So anyway, then Kaṁsa imprisoned Devaki and Vasudeva at that time. And so they were imprisoned from that time until after Krishna killed Kaṁsa, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that would be many more than 12 or 16 years, because there were 6 children born. And each one of those children, Vasudeva brought to Kaṁsa, and Kaṁsa killed babies. Now, somebody may say, well, wait a minute. Why did Vasudeva bring the children to be killed by Kaṁsa? It's almost like he was a party to the violence, to the murder. What do you think?
Vasudeva gave a promise to Kaṁsa that he would do that when the children are born, he would bring them to Kaṁsa, and Kaṁsa can do whatever he wanted with them. I don't think that puts Vasudeva
So just because he
as
promised, because of the
complicit.
promise?
Yeah, that's partly because he promised, but then Kaṁsa and Vasudeva both knew that it was the 8th child that was supposed to kill Kaṁsa, or cause Kaṁsa's death. And the only thing that was there that would cause Vasudeva to bring the children was the promise that he gave, because that promise is the one that spared Devaki's life. So he had to do it.
Yes. And there's another angle also. Vasudeva and Devaki were in prison.
Yeah.
So if they didn't bring, Kaṁsa would just come and kill them anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. At the time, he had made his mind up to do that, yes.
Yeah. So what kind of prison were Devaki and Vasudeva in? Maximum security prison, or?
Good question. I've heard different
What have you heard?
descriptions. If you look at videos, they don't make it so nice in that prison. But I heard from some other devotees that it was fairly comfortable in there.
Just
Yeah,
like
I haven't read it, I just heard. Yeah.
In regular prisons, the prison system, at least in the United States, you have first-class prisoners, second-class prisoners, third-class prisoners. Third-class prisoners are, they have many prison mates or cellmates, and they're in with hundreds of other people, and it's miserable. They don't get any food. As far as I know, the description of the prison house where Vasudeva and Devaki were staying, the description isn't given, but from other assorted discussions or descriptions, you can get a sense of the nature of that prison house. So when Lord Kṛṣṇa appeared before Devaki and Vasudeva, they were there in the prison house, and the only thing that was preventing them from leaving was that there were guards, isn't it?
Yes.
And after Lord Kṛṣṇa was born, and before Kaṁsa was killed, Nanda Maharaj went to pay taxes to Kaṁsa. Remember this?
Yes, that was a requirement.
Yeah, because he was a farmer, an agrarian person, a cowherd person, and so they had to pay taxes to the king, and so he went there. And who did he meet when he went there?
I don't remember. It could be Akrura, but I'm guessing.
Vasudeva.
Vasudeva said, "Oh, okay."
Vasudeva was he talked with Vasudeva. So I don't know exactly how it was that he talked to Vasudeva. Was it in a prison and he was talking through the special? It's not mentioned. But anyway, he had a discussion with Vasudeva, and Vasudeva said, "You better be careful, because there are all kinds of things, kinds of demons running around." And then, then when Nanda Maharaj went back, that's when Putana had been killed. And so Nanda Maharaj said, "Oh, Vasudeva was a thoughtful seer, isn't it?" So somehow there was some, even though there was a prison, they were in the prison, somehow they were able to communicate outside. And of course, Vasudeva and Devaki had children every year. Those children were killed, but so they were together. And then when Krishna and Balaram went to the wrestling arena for the wrestling match between them and Chandra and Mushtika, who was in the audience?
Some of the cowherd folks came.
Devaki and Vasudeva were also in the audience.
Yeah, that seems to imply that. So then that comes the question. It seems like, from American standards, if I could just borrow that, it didn't seem to be two of them in the solitary type confinement. It looks like they could come out sometimes.
Yeah. At least. I mean, even though they were in prison, they were allowed out for the wrestling match, to see the wrestling match between Krishna and Balaram. Yeah. So I mean, that's very interesting, and you can take it that from Kaṁsa's side, he's thinking that his wrestlers are going to defeat and kill Krishna and Balaram. So he's in his diabolical mentality, is thinking, "Oh, have the parents have the parents witness the death of their sons." That's another way of being powerful. So anyway, the kind of prison they were in, it's a little. It may not be like we're thinking of a solitary confinement prison. Even in regular prisons, they have time outside their cells, and they can. And sometimes in some prisons they have furloughs where they can go into the community for a day or a week or something like that. So anyway, but Lord Balaram was there assisting or working with Lord Kṛṣṇa in killing Kaṁsa.
Yeah.
Just some thoughts and remembrances of Lord Balaram that when the demigods went to the shore of the Milk Ocean, all the demigods were there, and they chanted the Purusha Sukta prayer. Then they didn't get any response back, at least apparently they didn't get. And then Lord Brahma sat down in meditation, and he received a message through his heart. And then he repeated that message, or broadcast that message to the demigods. And that message was, do you remember the message that he broadcast?
You told Lord Brahma related the message that Lord Vishnu said that they, the demigods, should take birth in the Jadu dynasty, and that in due course he himself would be coming to this earth.
Yes, he said he already knew of the situation. He already knew the situation because Bhumi had appealed to Lord Brahma, but Lord Vishnu already knew of the situation, and he would request. He's coming to Earth very soon, coming to the Earth planet very soon, and all the demigods should take birth in the Yadu dynasty, and their wives also, to help him in his mission, because somebody who helps the Lord in his vision, that's a demigod. And he said, and prior to his birth, his plenary expansion, Anantashesh, is going to take birth. Remember this? He let them know also. And then, and also his energy, Yoga Maya, will also appear on earth to help him with his mission. Do you remember this?
Well, I don't specifically, but they all came though. There's no question. Yeah.
So whenever a king comes, he always has his retinue. Krishna is not a lonely person. When he comes, he brings all of his associates, hundreds and thousands of associates, and his principal expansion, his associate, is Lord Balaram. And Lord Balaram, sometimes he appears as the older brother, like Nityananda Prabhu, or in the case of Lord Kṛṣṇa, Lord Balaram, older brother. And sometimes he appears as the younger brother. You know any instance of that?
When he was Lakshman.
Lakshman, yeah.
That's what he said, he would never appear again. That's the younger brother. Because what Lakshman had to go through.
So yeah. But in all cases, whether he's an older brother or younger brother, he engages in service to Krishna.
Yeah.
Ekal Ishwar Krishna Ashabritya. There's one Supreme Lord, and everybody else is servant. Of course, we individual souls, by our nature, part and parcel, our function is to serve the whole. Just as a finger is constitutionally bound to serve the interests of the whole body, similarly, all living entities are meant to serve all part and parcel living entities are meant to serve Krishna. But even the expansions of Lord Krishna, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Narayan, and Lord Balaram are all servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And how does Lord Balaram serve Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Any ideas?
Well, he in Santaras, he's just the expansion of practically everything. The spiritual world, Krishna's clothes, Krishna's flute is all expansions of Balaram.
Yeah, his couch. And we also, there's in ISKCON, they have these fiberglass mridungas.
Yes,
and they're called, what are they called? There's brand new Balaram mridungas, yeah, because they're part of the paraphernalia for serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord Balaram, even though he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the first expansion of Krishna, still he's the servant. Ekal Ishwar Krishna Ashabritya. He still remains the servant of the Supreme Lord. And also, as being the servant of the Supreme Lord, he's also, in that sense, identified as the original spiritual master. You've heard this?
Yeah.
Like we sometimes say in the Prima Dvani prayer, Jai Shri Guru and Gauranga. Who's that?
What? I'm not sure I understand the question.
When we say
Guru.
All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Who's the Guru? The Guru.
The original Guru.
Who's that?
That would be Balaram.
Balaram and Nityananda Prabhu. Of course, you could be referring to your own Guru, but the original Guru is Lord Nityananda, all glories to Shri Guru, Jai Shri Guru and Gauranga. Yeah. So he's also serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the original spiritual master. And as such, Lord Balaram is giving to those who are seeking advancement in Krishna consciousness, he gives spiritual strength. We're not talking about material strength, but spiritual strength to make advancement and become engaged strongly, firmly in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There's I don't remember the exact Sanskrit, maybe one of you do. There's a Sanskrit meaning, that a phrase that Lord Balaram is the giver of strength. Do you know that phrase, anyone? No. Yeah. So some impersonalist philosophers have indicated that they interpret that to mean that Lord Balaram is, you have to be strong, you get physically strong to become spiritually advanced. And so they work out very strongly, and nothing wrong with working out, but it's not just by physical strength that one can attain the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but by the strength, the spiritual strength bestowed by Lord Balaram when one seriously and sincerely wants to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He endows a person with spiritual strength to help them make progress beyond the influence of material nature. So Lord Balaram had, he appeared prior to Lord Kṛṣṇa, but what happened was, he was the 7th pregnancy of Devaki when she was in the prison house of Kaṁsa. And Lord Kṛṣṇa specifically requested Yogamaya to make the arrangement to transfer Balaram from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini, who was living in the place of Nanda Maharaj in Vrindavan. And Rohini was one of the other wives of Vasudeva, a co-wife of Devaki. So everybody thought that the 7th pregnancy of Devaki was a miscarriage. But actually, the child was transferred from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. And so then Lord Balaram is known both as the son of Devaki and the son of Rohini, both. Very interesting, very interesting. So then Lord Balaram has various names, and he's given the name Ram. Why, you know why he's given the name Ram?
It's associated with pleasure.
Yeah, he gives pleasure to all of his relatives and associates. Very transcendental pleasure, especially. And Balaram, because he's very, at the time of his name-giving ceremony, Gargamuni, which was sometime after the birth, Gargamuni said his name will be Balaram or Baladeva because as he grows, he'll become very strong. This is said there in there. So I thought that was interesting because we say that God is always Bhagavan. So his strength is always there. You follow?
Yeah.
But perhaps it's the case that he doesn't display the strength, the unlimited strength that he has until later. Does that make sense?
Yeah, by his own will. Yeah.
Yeah. So Gargamuni said, in the course of time, he'll have incredible strength. Of course, he was already the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord Balaram, and Lord Balaram had various pastimes that we can remember today. Anybody remember any of the pastimes of Lord Balaram?
Well, with Krishna and the cowherd boys, Balaram was the one that actually killed the donkey demon, Dinukasura.
Yes, sometimes Lord Krishna killed the demons, but also Balaram also killed demons, various demons. Lambasur, yeah. And outside of Vrindavan, he also had various pastimes that were quite instructive. There was one time when it said that in the Srimad Bhagavatam that Balaram became very excited and enthusiastic while he was living in Dwarka to visit his mother and father, Devaki and Nanda and Yashoda. So he got on his chariot and traveled from Dwarka to Vrindavan. And there he met all the cowherd boys, gopis, Nanda and Yashoda. So the question could be raised, well, if Balaram went all the way from Dwarka to Vrindavan, why didn't Krishna go? You follow?
You don't mind repeating it?
Well, so this is when Balaram went to visit the residents of Vrindavan when he was living in Dwarka. So the Srimad Bhagavatam says that Balaram, all of a sudden, he became very enthusiastic to visit his foster father and mother, Yashoda and Nanda, and the residents of Vrindavan. So he got on his chariot and he traveled to Vrindavan and met them. So one could question, well, how come Lord Krishna didn't go?
I don't remember the pastime exactly. But
okay, you'll remember it when we talk a little more.
Emotions, yeah.
So Vishnugada Chakravarti Thakur says, well, Krishna couldn't go because the residents of Dwarka were too worried that if Krishna goes to Vrindavan, then he's got so much attachment and love for the residents of Vrindavan, he'll never come back. So they were very much afraid of Lord Krishna going, but they allowed Balaram to go.
Okay.
That's very interesting. So Balaram arrived in Vrindavan and he, according to etiquette, he offered his obeisances to the senior cowherd men and cowherd lady, and embraced those who were peers and accepted obeisances from the juniors. And then Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, they took him on his lap and they cried. And the gopis also came, and Lord Balaram then delivered some confidential messages, just like Uddhava did, but they're not described exactly what the messages were, to the gopis of Vrindavan, who were still feeling a great loss and separation from Krishna. But by the messages of Lord Balaram, and he also described many of the pastimes of Lord Krishna, and just by hearing the pastimes of Lord Krishna, the gopis became absorbed in happiness, and all of their sadness from separation from Krishna dissipated. And then what happened was a set of gopis, Lord Balaram went into the forest and they did a rasa dance. He did a rasa dance with those gopis. That went on every night for 2 months. And Jiva Goswami and Vishnugada Chakravarti Thakur said that these gopis were different gopis than the gopis that Lord Krishna danced with in his rasa dance. They were special, different gopis. They were too young at the time when Lord Krishna danced. And that way all the residents of Vrindavan were feeling as happy as when Lord Krishna himself was present in Vrindavan. And in the midst of the rasa dance, and when Lord Balaram was enjoying his pastimes with the gopis near the bank of Jamuna, a Varuni appeared, the daughter of demigod Varuna, and as some Varuni beverage coming from the trunks of trees and mixed with honey. And Lord Balaram, he drank that, and it appeared that he was intoxicated. You remember this now, right, Parikshit Prabhu?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was having, Lord Balaram is never intoxicated in a way that he loses his consciousness as we might. But anyway, then he wanted to go into the waters of the Jamuna, and he called the Jamuna to come close by so he could go in the waters along with those cowherd girlfriends. But initially, what happened?
Jamuna did not want to come.
Yeah, the Jamuna refused. Why?
I'm not sure about that.
She thought, well, he was intoxicated. What should I?
Oh,
He's intoxicated. So then Lord Balaram became angry, and he took his plow. And he started hitting the ground with his plow and pulling the Jamuna close by and with his plow and cutting the Jamuna into many different smaller streams. So then Jamuna personified came to see him and bowed down before him and asked forgiveness. And the acharyas say that person who is the Yamuna personified was an expansion of Krishna's wife Kalindi. So she said, I'm sorry, I forgot about your omnipotence and your being the supreme personality of Godhead. Please forgive me and let me engage in your service. And then another goddess came and delivered a golden necklace and beautiful ornaments and clothes for Lord Balaram. And so then after he bathed in the Jamuna along with his associates and the gopis. So that pastime is memorialized by Jayadev Goswami. You know that. Vahasi vapusi vishade vasanam jaladabam alahati bhiti milita jamunabam keshavadrita haladhara rupa jai jagadisha hare jai jagadisha hare jai jagadisha hare. It says that Lord Balaram, whose body is like a moon and is decorated with beautiful blue garments, he took his plow, and by hitting the ground near the Jamuna River became very, very worried and anxious and surrendered to Lord Balaram. So that's memorialized in that prayer by Jayadev Goswami. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
There's so many prayer pastimes of Lord Balaram, like, another pastime is when Lord Balaram came upon the sages of Naimisharanya, where Ramaharshi and Sutta was sitting on the vyasasana.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are, there's so many wonderful pastimes of Lord Balaram. Srila Prabhupada, when he spoke on appearance days, often he spoke more on tattva than lila. But anyway, if anybody has comments or questions or observations, additions, clarifications.
Anyone? Questions or comments? Well, I'll start with the comment that there were parts of Krishna Lila that we were reading. This is with a different group of devotees, and they were talking about at the wrestling arena, how Devaki was feeling based on things that were happening, and I'm thinking, but Devaki and Vasudeva were locked up in a cell. So this particular lecture, is pointed out that basically they could come out maybe under some sort of supervision by the guards or something, that they were actually allowed in different places. So at the time that Krishna and Balaram were fighting, or were going to fight the Chanu, Mushika, and the rest of them, the restless, that Devaki and Vasudeva, they were in fact in with everybody else, the audience, or at least they could see what was going on in the arena.
Somehow they could see, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's very
I wasn't
interesting,
quite sure. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about what kind of prison they're in, because also Nanda Maharaj met with Vasudeva before.
Yeah, that also was allowed. So I guess it wasn't all strict solitary confinement.
And, we know that Ugrasena was also put in jail by
Yeah.
Kaṁsa,
Yeah.
but it wasn't the same jail, apparently, because we don't see Vasudeva and Devaki in the same jail as Ugrasena. At least apparently it wasn't. I mean, these are all speculative things, but we don't read that. So, there's first-class prisoner, second-class prisoner, third-class prisoner.
It looks like they would have to be in the first-class prison. I mean, they had children there. It wasn't like solitary confinement. The guards could see them or anything, but I think they had maybe inner chambers. It's speculation on my part, but anyway, to have union for children, I wouldn't have it in front of the guards. So definitely there was some privacy in the setup in the jail. It had to be.
So it seems a little bit more, perhaps. I mean, it was still in the house of Kaṁsa, but it's like almost house arrest to a certain extent.
Yeah, that probably was. Yeah.
Exactly. We don't know, but
it's not
there's a story of Subhash Chandra Bose. He was arrested also and put in confinement, but it was like house arrest. And then he said he was sick, and then anyway, it's a whole story about how he grew a beard because nobody was watching him very carefully, and then put on Muslim clothes and was able to escape. So it was house arrest, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. That seems to fit at least our thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, the guards were there. Of course, the guards were there, so to prevent them from doing whatever they wanted. And why were they in jail? Because they wanted to make sure that when they have any children, that they'll be accessible for Kaṁsa to kill.
Yeah.
They can't just if they leave, are they giving any? Just like a prisoner nowadays, if you sometimes they arrest somebody and they let him out on bail. But what happens when they're out on bail?
Sometimes they don't show up when they're supposed to show
They
up.
jump bail, yeah, bail means they have to give a certain amount of money. So in that money, they won't get it back if they jump the bail.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem that was going on. But the point being that if they were let out too loosely, then they could flee. And so many other members of the Yadu dynasty had flown to different places to avoid the cruelty of Kaṁsa, and they took shelter in the Kuru dynasty and other dynasties.
Yeah. Mathurā wasn't easy to live in because of the way Kaṁsa was.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very cruel.
And there's another pastime of Lord Balaram is when Samba kidnapped Lakshmana, the daughter of Duryodhana, and to marry her, and the gurus were angry about that, and they captured Samba, even though he put up a big fight. They captured him, and so Balaram came to Hastinapur to try to mediate the situation. But when he came, the heads of the Kuru dynasty, they started to insult the Yadu dynasty and him, even though on one side they supposedly recognized him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's another time when Lord Balaram used his plow to bring the Yamuna very close and to almost destroy the city of Hastinapur. And then the Kuru dynasty members, they offered very heartfelt prayers asking forgiveness to Lord Balaram. And those are good prayers for us to recite today. The prayers that were given by the residents of the Kuru dynasty, asking forgiveness and indulgence from Lord Balaram for their misbehavior.
Any other comments, questions? It's a nice pastime involving Balaram. We hear a lot about Krishna, Krishna's Leela. But there's a lot of wonderful Leelas of Balaram too.
And we have a nice prayer. We have a nice prayer to Lord Balaram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. That's also Balaram.
Yeah. Some people think it's Ramachandra, but that's another story.
Yeah, Ramachandra, Ram, or Krishna, all.
Yeah.
So, no problem.
Any questions?
Oh, I had another thing to say.
All right.
Sometimes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's described that the only difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram is Krishna is Shyama and Balaram is white. But then on the other hand, we say that there are four qualities that Krishna has that are very hardly anyone else has other than Krishna, which is he attracts living entities by playing on his flute. He's got incredible beauty, unsurpassed beauty. He's got he's surrounded by devotees with wonderful love of Godhead, and he has wonderful childhood pastimes. So what about that? If we say on one hand, Lord Balaram, the only differences between Krishna and Lord Balaram is that Krishna is Shyama and Balaram is white. What about these four items, four things? What about, does Balaram have those or not? Does that make sense, that question?
Yeah, if you take it one by one, the answer seems to be yes, though. Because he has his pastime, except one. Except one, because he's never mentioned the Balaram is playing a flute.
Oh, you'll find he plays the flute. If you search,
If you search, okay, well then all of them apply to him then.
Well, but we don't. It's never specifically said. At least I couldn't find any. There's never. Srila Prabhupada never specifically said that Lord Balaram's flute attracts all the living entities in the universe, like Lord Krishna's flute. Although there's one pastime where Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna are coming back from herding the cows and they're playing the flute. Both of them are playing flutes, and all the living entities are attracted. So I can't really designate that. Oh, it's Lord Balaram's flute. You follow?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're both playing flute as they're returning from. So anyway, it's a special flute. It's a special flute for sure. Whether it's up to the level of Krishna's flute, I can't say.
Yeah.
Follow?
Cowboys play flute too.
Yes.
They also do. But yeah, I mean, Krishna is topmost.
Attracts all living entities in the universe. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Krishna's pastimes are wonderful. Balaram's pastimes are wonderful. Both are. Hare Krishna. Are there any final questions or comments? Okay. I see my chat just lit up and
Thank you.
See. Okay, looks like that's it then. Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu, for giving such a wonderful class. Balaram Jayanti today, so we fast till 12 noon. And this evening in Harrisburg, there will be a program. It will be the last day of the Julanyatra Swing Festival, also according to Śrīla Prabhupada's instructions, the 5th day. So there will be both Balaram Jayanti and Julanyatra, the Swing Festival, tonight at the Harrisburg Temple. So you come in the evening as soon as possible. The program starts around 6. But I know it's a work day for some of you, so come as early as you can. Or if you can leave early at work too, that would be even better. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for giving a wonderful class.
Pāvanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Śrī Prabhupada ki jai.
जय